Welcome to a new week and to a new financial year. Can you fucking believe it's July?
Oh, man.
Is that not wild?
Hang on a second. Because there's something you're missing.
I'm missing?
Yeah, and it's massive.
Nah.
It is. It's huge. It's huge.
What is it?
You haven't even said it. And I'm surprised. I'm actually upset. I don't know if I can continue the rest of this podcast.
I know exactly what it is.
What is it?
Happy birthday.
That's it. 42 today, mate.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. 6th of July. Ladies and gentlemen, please put it in your calendar and spam my inbox just to make me feel special and loved and enough.
How does it feel to be old? Older.
I feel good. I feel pumped. I feel strong. And I feel the same as I did yesterday. So it's another year, another 365 days around the sun. Here we are.
Yeah.
I like birthdays, man. I want as many birthdays as I can get.
As in, when you say you like birthdays, as in
It's a celebration. I don't see many people.
Getting old is a privilege.
Yeah, that's right. Many people look at it, oh man, I'm 42. Oh no, I've got another year.
For those people, it's just a reminder that, I haven't done what I wanted to do.
Yeah, 100%. I know a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, predominantly older than me, but a lot of people look at it in that way and just go, oh man, I'm old. Like this is it. I'm over. It's done.
Well, do you ever think about death?
Yeah, more so now. More so now that I'm older, because I could be halfway there. No, I think about it. I think about it on the perspective of almost as a motivator, you know, like we're gonna die. So you got to get up and get going, and there's plenty of things to be grateful and happy for, and time is fleeting. It's just a reminder now that I'm older and I see that my kids are getting older, all that sort of stuff. You know, in my mind, there's an element of me that's still 25 years old, you know, and just want to go out with the boys and have fun and be carefree. But then there's also the other side of it. It's like, wow, we've still got so much to do.
Yeah, but do you ever do you think, I feel like I think about it more now than ever, but I also feel like, man, like if I'm this age and I'm thinking about it,
And what am I
going to be like when I'm, be like when I'm 60 or 70?
Yeah.
Like, how does an 80-year-old feel? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be any day now. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and no one would be shocked.
No, you'd be like, oh, good wicket.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be pretty happy about that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and then it's like, what's the mindset at 80? Like, you cannot help. I feel like I would not be able to help but think about it.
Yeah, could be any day now.
Yeah. Just like, this is just the way it's gone for everyone. Like, I've seen millions, billions of people die, not directly, but like we know of, this is not a new thing. You know what I mean? It's like, I've seen this happen to so many different people. It's like, you know, I'm going to go down a similar path. I'm the same species. And that time, if you're 80, it can't be that far.
Look, I think the way I try to see it as well is even at 80, you still could be another lifetime.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you could still live in it easily.
Yeah, exactly right. Especially with modern technology, and it's only getting better.
Yeah.
And also, I'm putting things into motion today that's going to ensure I'm as healthy and fit and strong as possible in the next 40 years. So I very strongly feel, as much as that is there, it's the reality. The other reality also is that you could still live a very long time. And that's what I'd be pushing. That's what I think that's where my mind would be. And as much as I say, yeah, I think about death or it might be there, it's not at the forefront of my thoughts on the daily. It's more just like, oh, okay, yeah, another year. All right, let's go. We still got time. And we've said it before. It's like you sometimes do feel like you thought you would be more ahead than what you are. But again, things can change real quick in so many aspects, both from a positive and a negative point of view. You know, I'm going to go on holiday soon. And what if the plane goes down? It's not going to matter how old I am or what I have done or haven't done. These things they're very real possibilities, and that's why I don't focus on it as a negative. It's just the reality. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I was talking to someone about that the other day, as the thing about, not being as far along as you'd like. And they recommended a book to me, and the book title, I haven't read it yet. I've been recommended this book before, though. So I actually got recommended this book by, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I bought this book because of Ryan Tuckwood.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, when we were in Vegas. He's like, hey, read this book. And I was like, and it's called The
Hey,
Gap.
shout out to Ryan. We haven't
Yeah, shout out to Ryan.
haven't had that name for a while.
The Gap and the Gain.
Yeah,
And
right.
he's like, listen, he's like, he goes, so often we fucking focus on the gap. He goes, and we forget to look back at like the gain and like how fucking far you've come.
I'm going to write that. I'm going to get that.
Yeah, and I was like,
The Gap and the Gain.
The book's called The Gap and the Gain. I'm 95% sure Ryan told me about it.
Yeah.
Because I've got the book.
Yeah.
And I just thought, what an interesting, like someone wrote, the topic is so common that someone wrote a fucking book about it. Do you know what I mean? Like someone wrote a book about people not being as far along as they'd like, and a different perspective to have on it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
There's definitely perspective on it.
Life is all perspective.
It is, because
Do you know what I mean?
as much
two
as
people
I
can be in the same situation. One can be sad, one can be happy.
Yeah, and as much as you often look at it, I think it's that entrepreneurial driven part of us that think that way, because we're putting in the effort, you're doing the reps, you're doing all these extraordinary things. It's like, well, we should be further ahead, but like we're just comparing ourselves to someone else that's maybe had the lucky break or whatever it might be. But if you look at where you are and what you've done and what you've achieved to date, there is so many phenomenal things that you've done and that you've achieved, and just you sitting here by consequence. Like there's a lot to look at and to be proud of and to be happy about. And I think it's a good reframe sometimes to go back and just check on those.
Yeah, sometimes you need to be reminded.
Yeah, absolutely you do.
Yeah,
And it's good to have those positive people around you to remind you of those things. As I said, I've got people close to me, family members that think that way, that, they're later in their years, and they just say that. Like even my dad says that sometimes, just passing. He's quite a positive person, but in passing, be like, oh, I could kick the bucket in the next year. Who knows? And I'm like, yeah, but you can also live another 30 years, another 40 years. Like you could live another lifetime. My whole life that I've been alive, that 42 years, you could live another 42. So
it's true.
It is. So there's, I think I would always try to reframe back to that space and go, well, man, we've got time. Just keep going.
Look on the positive side. So you need to just continue moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're moving forward. We're moving forward in our business.
In this podcast.
Got a few big moves. I reckon I'm going to look at rolling out, given the last episode that we discussed.
Yep.
And one thing I always do as well, George, in the business, I think you do something similar, but please share with the audience. But one thing I do with everyone in my team, so we employ 10 people total. And that's not including any contractors. Contractors are on top of that. So we employ 10 people total, a mix of remote and in-house. And we do one-on-one catch-up calls once every 90 days.
So once a quarter.
Once a quarter, yeah. So what I like to do is, now this is a new quarter, so we finished all the catch-up calls. But what I like to do is at the end of every quarter to sit down with every single team member for about 45 to 60 minutes, nothing more. And we sit down and we have a chat. And just like hey, how are you going? What's happening? How's things on your end? How are you going with the role? And I've got a line of questioning that I kind of walk through with them. And I find it unbelievably refreshing. Just to connect.
Or for them?
I think they enjoy it. Or they dread it. Nah, I think they enjoy it. But I find it unbelievably refreshing for myself, because it kind of really gives you like a really close. Sometimes it's you learn something that you didn't know. Sometimes it's you're You're not locked in here. Like, you're saying the same thing you said last quarter, and you're just trying to get through this call. And sometimes it's like you are locked in here. Like, you are talking about, well, how do I grow in this business? You know what I mean? And I think it gives you a really good insight, because no matter the business you're in, at some point, until we get robots, at some point, you're gonna need team. Like, and for some people, that's straight away. You know, if you're in the hospitality space, you need people instantly. If you run an e-commerce store, you might not need people for a long time, and then you got to hire people, right? You might be able to get much further before you need to engage people. But at some point, no matter the type of business you operate, you're gonna have to employ people. And I think people underestimate the importance of building a team.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. I think people really, really underestimate, one, the difficulty behind it.
Yeah, and I feel that it's when people are sort of doing their task, it's like set and forget for most business owners. It's like, no, I'm so busy. I can't sit down an hour, 45 minutes. I got to do a review with this person. It's going to take my whole day if I do the whole team, you know? And it's like...
It does.
Yeah, I believe it. It does take effort. And I think a lot of people put that on the back burner because they don't see it as a metric that's going to drive their business in that moment, even though it's a huge metric that will drive their business in the future.
Dude, it is 100% a metric. If you measured it, I guarantee you would see a positive uptake. If you measured the people who do it versus the people who don't, I guarantee you would see some level of positive improvement.
Yeah, I try to do it quarterly. I probably don't do it quarterly. I probably do it more 3 times. I tend to do a start of year, mid-year, towards the end of the year. So I'll do it every, whatever it might be, say every 4 to 5 months, something like that. Probably every 4 months. With my senior management, I'll catch up almost on a monthly basis. We'll catch up and sit down and actually talk about business strategy type things. But I also do just catch-ups in the moment, unscheduled. So, hey, let's go for a coffee. And then I'll talk to them about things like that. So I'll have it a little bit more casual. So I have it 2 ways. I do an informal type chat where we'll just catch up, go for a coffee. Hey, what's going on? What's news? How are you traveling? Life, business, all that sort of jazz. But then I'll have another one where we do a proper review and do like almost a KPI review on their performance, on how they're tracking, on where they can grow, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. And I've found, like what you just said, every time I've done that with each and every one of my employees, there's always been a spring in their step following that meeting.
100%.
Every single time.
100%.
Every single time. So you look at that and go, well, if they feel that way, then this is definitely something that's positive for them and something that you should be doing. And I'm a massive believer in it because I've seen it. I used to like it. And as a driven individual, when I was an employee, I used to love it when my boss would take notice and go, oh, I see how well you're doing here. I like this. I like this. I reckon you can improve here. Is there any training that you want to do? Oh, I'd love to learn how to do estimating. Oh, I wouldn't mind getting on site a little bit more and doing this. And you're just, okay, great. We'll give you that opportunity. And you leave that meeting just going, fuck yeah, let's go. So motivated, so driven. And you didn't even get a pay rise or anything. It was more just, okay, I'm being seen. There's an opportunity for me to grow and to achieve more and do more and, yeah, eventually earn more too.
I think a big part of that is, when you do, here's the downside to not scheduling it. Because, I'm pretty sure you're busy. Do you know what I mean? I'm fucking busy as hell. And I feel like it's one of those things where if you don't book it in, it'll always get pushed out.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
It'll always
100%.
just hey man, next month, next month, next month. And the next thing
and I've been in that trap before as well.
Yeah. And the next thing you know, a year's passed by and you haven't done it. And you're like, fuck, time is just flying by, right?
Yeah.
Whereas when it's locked in the calendar, it's a recurring event.
Yep.
It happens once every 90 days at the end of the quarter. We sit down and we talk about what was, and sometimes it's just a chat. Sometimes you're just how's life?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hey, these numbers don't really stack up.
Yeah, we also do quarterly team meetings as well. So I try to do it at least once a quarter in the office. Everyone comes here, they finish work half an hour earlier, whatever it might be, come to the office and we'll have a meeting. And that's where we discuss sort of global movements with the business, but also I even incorporate an element of training into that too, to help them out in a task that they're doing or language that I want them to be using. And I find that that's really good too. Bit of team bonding, but also an opportunity for me to teach them something as well.
I think, yeah, I think it's the most underrated thing you can do. You know, I think the most underrated thing you can do is invest in your people. And I feel like it took me too long to learn. You know what I mean? And I feel like there would be people listening to this right now that are like, I don't fucking have time for that nonsense. And you're like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? It's like, no, like I can't harp on enough about how much of an impact this will make on your business. I think Stephen Bartlett said it, and he goes, a company is a group of people. That's what it is. So if you want to have a really good company, you need to have a really good group of people that do things inside of that company. You know what I mean? And I think you start to learn like, oh, like when I get someone to do this, I don't have to do. There is no greater feeling than seeing things change. This is for me. There's no greater feeling than seeing things change in your business and for the better. And you had no involvement. And you're like, what's that? And they're like, oh yeah, we do this like this now because when we did it like that, that wasn't working. So we added this step in the process and now, you know, that doesn't happen anymore. You're like, huh, cool. I don't even know where the fuck that's saved. But yeah, I think that stuff's really cool. And yeah, it's been really insightful, man. It's been one of my, it's kind of fed me some energy a little bit. And one of the biggest bits of feedback, I always ask this question, right? Because I'm not so silly to think that I can't learn from them. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that most, fuck, I know more than you. And it's like, no, they see more than you. You know, the AI knows more than you. The only reason you can tend to put out a better thing than the AI can is because you have more context. They have more context than you. It's got nothing to do with intelligence.
Yeah.
They see the data that you spend little to no time on site. They see all the stuff on site.
That's right.
So it's like sitting down with them and talking about what's actually getting in their way on site and starting to extract that information from them is the leverage point for you. But the thing I always ask my team is like, hey, you know, I don't think everyone I employ has worked somewhere else previously. They've all had jobs. I'm like, what's something you did in an old workplace that we could do here? Like, what's something from your old?
Yeah, that's good. That's better.
Yeah. What's something that? Yeah. Of course, that's better. Don't bring the bad stuff. What's something you did in a previous workplace that we could really start to implement here that would help us make this a better place for you?
Yeah. And that's a great question. And I remember back in the day when I was actually going for a job interview at a business, and I think I know what got me the job. It was we were sitting there and we're talking, and I was with the director. And anyway, one of the questions came up, or, you know, what do you do, blah, blah, blah. But I kind of ended the meeting or the interview with me saying, look, at the end of the day, I've had a pretty good array of experience working for these tier one builders. And me coming into your organization, because it was a smaller business, they were turning over, I think, 20 odd mil at the time. And that's going from Multiplex and Abbey Group. I said, the one thing.
What do they turn over?
Who? Multiplex? Oh, wouldn't surprise me if they were in the billions. Yeah. Like when I say billions, maybe a billion at least. At some stage they would have, I've got no doubt. I don't know how busy they are right now. But yeah, they would have been $1 billion company turnover at some stage. So what was I saying? Oh, and I was saying my ability to come in here now, if I was to get the role, I think I would improve your business because I've got a wealth of experience working for these companies, and I can now bring and implement and assist with processes, systems, procedures in your business that we've utilized there that will help you on your journey of becoming a builder or, you know, delivering projects. And I think just that sentence, me insinuating that, me saying that, and I could, mind you, I could back that up, got me that job. I would love to see employees do the same thing with me. If I was to go out now, and we will in the near future, I'll go out and I will employ another administrator, for example, in the office. one of the things will be, I might even ask the question and try and prompt them and say, well, look, if you're doing some stuff there that's different, that's better, that's good, like, let's have that discussion. Like, what can you bring into our operations to make us better than what we were? And I think that's a really powerful thing for employees to be looking at doing, because bosses see that. You know, a good boss, if you're working at a good company, like people that do the reviews, they catch up with their team, they see it. I promise you, if you're listening to this and you're an employee, or if you're a boss, you know which employees put in the extra effort. You know which ones want to help, want to make you grow, want to do all that. And you're going to reward those guys. You're going to reward them each and every time. I've employed some new employees in the business over the last 3 months. And already I can look at things that they're doing and go, okay, well done. Well done. Now, I didn't have to ask you to do that, and you did it.
Which is, I reckon, one of the biggest tells.
It was it is such a big tell. There was this little thing that we had to do. There's a bathroom refurb that we've had to do. And my carpenter who's working for me, he'd organized the plumber without me speaking to him. He's like, no, I've already done that. He goes, he's going to come in this week. He's fixed that. And then next week I'll get in there and I'll do this. I didn't have to make the call. So good. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's a massive thing for me. Yesterday or the day before, I was on site and I was walking around at one of our biggest jobs with the client, with the architect, and with my supervisor. And as we're there, we're talking, my supervisor had the answer for every question, which I would expect, but I was also pumped that he had those answers. And it's like, cool, yep, the plasterer is coming in on Thursday. He's doing that. After he's done, I've got the carpenter. He's coming to do skirts. Then I've got the painter. He's coming in on this day. Stone's going in on Monday. And outside, we're doing the Telstra, and then we're pouring driveways, and then we're completely clean outside. And then so he had the answer for absolutely everything. And that was great because it made, the perception was that we had control of the project, which is great. But also, I was impressed that he had everything under control. Because if I came in there and I was like, okay, cool, when's the joinery getting finished? And he's like, I'll call the joiner. You should know all of those answers. Your role is on site.
Or at least have it documented.
Yeah, you should have everything ready to go. Or you say, yeah, I'm just waiting for a phone call. It should be coming. This is when I need it done, and that's what I'm pushing for. So for me, because if I had to then go on site and start coordinating trades, that pisses me off. That pisses me right off. If I have to go on site and make phone calls as the director of the company, make phone calls to find out when, or to get the carpenter there, to get the electrician there, to get the plumber there, that annoys me a lot because that's not my role. My role is to be pushing and growing and making the business better, not doing your job. And if I have to do your job, then you're not going to be employed here. Someone else will be.
Yeah. There's two sides to that, because I think one side is like, hey man, do the fucking job.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other side, like the person, the employee, you're like, that person needs to do their role. They need to carry it out at a satisfactory level so that you don't have to get involved, step in, etc.
Yeah.
There's another side to it though. You have to let go.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't micromanage.
Which is way harder than anyone I've ever heard. Like, I've heard people say, you need to let go, blah, blah, and it's like, no, like, it is fucking hard to let go, especially when you've built the thing from scratch. And then it's like, but you got to understand, if you want to build a big business, you can't be doing everything in the business.
Yeah, you can't be doing all the little tasks.
You can't be, doing the customer service and handling this element and doing all the basic stuff and sending all the emails and making sure you got to provide the right environment in which people can thrive and be able to do what they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was speaking with one of our guys the other day, and he's like, but I can do, and I was like, you need to get them to do that. He's like, but I can do that better. I'm like, I don't care. That's not what we hired you for. Do you know what I mean? You cost us way more. Like, you get them to do the fucking thing.
Teach them how to do it.
Yeah, you get them to do it. No, they know how to do it.
Okay. Well, if he can do it better, then say give them the tools to go, hey, I see how you're doing it. Do it like this because it's actually better.
Yeah.
Or do it like this because this is how Robbie likes the report. Or use this software or use this AI because you'll do it in 5 minutes as opposed to 5 hours.
Yeah. And it's like, this person was having the struggle of like, oh, but if I've got to do that, I might as well just do it. And it's like, no.
Yeah, that's the wrong attitude.
Not how to look at it. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta, but they're gonna take longer total hours. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna go
You're
from spending
$100 an hour
yeah.
and
You're gonna
they're
go from
13.
spending
Yeah.
8 hours on this to spending 1 hour on this. That's what matters, and we still deliver the same or a similar outcome. Do you know what I mean? And there's a really good book by Dan Martell. Do you know who Dan Martell is?
Maybe.
It's called Buy Back Your Time.
Oh, yes, I know.
Yeah.
That book.
It's a fucking great book. Like,
I
you want
think
to
I've actually got it in my study.
read it.
Thanks. I will.
Do you call your office your study? Oh, you're doing it at home.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
just a word I used.
Yeah, and I think I think as a business owner, you need to be comfortable with people not outputting something exactly how you would output it.
Yeah, they're going to do it different. And that's okay.
Yeah, you need to be comfortable with that. And you need to like, you know what else? Something I've learned from doing these calls, which lines up directly with what I'm saying. Sometimes people need to make their own mistakes.
And I'm happy for that to happen because they can learn from that. It's as long as it doesn't become a pattern and they keep making the same mistake.
No, of course. I tell I've got every single person on my team has heard me say this. Hey, I've got no issues with mistakes. I've got issues with the same mistakes. Do you know what I mean? As long as you don't make the same mistake twice, because if you make it once, okay, you didn't know. But if you make it twice, okay, you didn't care. Do you know what I mean? And they're different. So it's like, I don't care. If you didn't know and you learn from something, that's fine. As long as it doesn't fucking cost us $1 million. But if you made a mistake, like if you came in and then you kicked the camera over and the camera broke, and then we bought a new camera. No, okay, cool. Like let's just say you fucked up, whatever. And then we bought a new camera and you came in and you kicked it over again. And you're like, oh, sorry. It's like, hey, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's have a chat about this. Because
it's not as sorry as your bank account, maybe.
And I think, and that's hard, dude. That's hard to, because like, you need to disassociate yourself from your company. Because you can't help but feel like you're being taken, not you being taken for a ride, but it's like, okay, if it costs the company money, you feel like, fuck, that cost me money. And it's like, you can't think like that.
That was a very powerful reframe. You actually told me that. And it was once, I can't remember what it was, but you're like, I was having this issue with a client and they didn't pay X amount of dollars for something or whatever it was. And you made me reframe that because I was like, but they cost me all this money. Like that's, this and this. And he's like, no, that cost Pascon money. It didn't cost you money. It cost your company money. And that just made that reframe a lot better when I was dealing with that issue. I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're completely right. It cost my company money. It didn't cost me money. And yes, even though the money came out of that account and whatever it was or didn't go in, you then disassociate with that and then you put the processes in place to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. One of the most powerful things for myself was positioning myself as there's Robbie the employee and then Robbie the shareholder. And they are not the same person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Robbie the employee has a duty to grow the business and he gets paid a salary and he has to come in and he has to grow the business and do the right things and blah, blah, blah. And he's got KPIs he needs to hit. And then Robbie, the shareholder, is the one who benefits from owning the company. And it's like that. I think paying yourself a salary is very important because then it disassociates from those things.
Yeah.
It helps you.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden it's not about how much money is left in the account at the end of the month. It's more about, okay, cool. Like I've got my salary. This is my personal life is kind of, I've built it. I've almost built a disconnect. It's like, okay, cool. That's all taken care of. I don't have to worry about my fucking rent. And I don't have to worry about making the company profitable. And we know how to do that. I think that's a really powerful reframe. Now, there would be a bunch of people listening to this who may not have any employees. And hopefully they're still listening. What would you say to these people, George? Because I know lots of people who like got rid of all their, I've spoken to people and they're like, hey, we were at 20 people. Now I've got no one and I'm happier. And it's like, okay, like, and each to their own. You do what you want in life. I can't remember if I said this the other day, but this could be my most favorite saying ever. And it's, the only true test of intelligence is if you get what you want out of life. That's it. Nothing else. It's not about your IQ. It's not about how fucking smart you think you are.
Yeah.
The truest test of intelligence is if you get what you want out of life. And if you do, you're smart. And if you don't, you're not that smart. That's just the reality, right? And I fucking love that saying. And for that person who got rid of their whole team, maybe that's what they want, and they worked out a way to do it, and that's great. But what would you say for someone who's maybe looking at doing their first hire, or is thinking, listening to this now and thinking, fuck yeah, they're right. Like I've known I need to put someone on, and I'm, getting run off my feet. What would you say to that person who hasn't hired anyone before, or maybe they haven't, it hasn't worked out, and they're listening to this now and they know they need to make their first hire?
No successful business ever grew, ever had any level of success without people. Simple as that. Simple as that. If you don't want to employ people, then go and get a job. Like, what are you doing differently than what you would be doing in a job? You're probably going to get, and if you go and work for the right company, you'll probably make more money, less stress. You're going to get your paycheck every single week. Whereas if you're the one that's every single day doing the grind, processing invoices, speaking to the clients, doing the sales, doing the actual writing the ads, cutting the meat, whatever it is, if you're that person, you're just going to find yourself in Groundhog Day and just reliving the same day every single time. And you're never going to be able to get the freedom. You won't be able to go on a holiday because you have to be at work.
It's dependent on you.
It's completely dependent on you. So you have to go out and get employees. You have to, if you are in a business. Like, don't start a business if you have no intention of getting employees, period. Now, okay, I'm sure there's some tech startups and things like that that you may not need to have employees up front or for quite some time, but eventually, if it does grow, if it does become what it needs
like
to
you'll
become,
eventually hit a point.
You'll hit a point, right? You will hit a point. If you're good at what you do, you will hit a point where you're going to need employees. That's it. I love this saying, and I say it at some of my trainings. A bad employee will cost you money. A good employee will cost you nothing. And a great employee will make you 5 to 10 times their salary. Now, I try to surround myself with great employees. If not good, then get them to great. Okay, so get them to, if they are good, we want to get them to great. And I've often been criticized, like people that don't know, they'll come to me and say, oh, you have too many overheads, you've got too many employees. They're not, hang on, my employees don't cost me money. They're not on the balance sheet as a liability, right? They are an asset. They are making me money. The reason I can deliver so many projects, the reason why they are delivered at a high standard and without many defects or whatever it might be, is because I have a team there doing that. I don't have to sit here and do the manual work, which then allows me to go out and get more work and grow the business, and then have to be in a position where I need to employ more people. So you have to get the people. And for those of you that have employed someone and it hasn't worked, okay, good. You've just found a way not to, or the type of person you don't want in your organization.
One of the biggest mistakes people make, and I've definitely made this mistake, is you hold on to someone for way longer than you should. You know what I mean? Because hiring's a fucking job.
Oh, man. It's funny. I used to think I would enjoy the hiring process.
No,
I used to think, oh, wow, we're going to go out and hire someone. This is going to be fun to get to interview people. This is going to be fun. Oh, man. After stop, don't talk to me. Just come in here and go to work.
Yeah, because also, and I understand as an employee, you want to show up and present yourself in the best light. So a lot of the time, the person who comes into the interview is not the person who's coming for the job.
Yes. They're putting on
they're face. They need to show up and show out, right? And it's cool. I understand that. And you should do that, just to be clear. Don't rock up as your worst self. You should rock up as your best self. You want to increase the likelihood that you get the job. But as an employer, you see that and you factor that in, and you're like, all right, cool. I'm meeting the best version, most likely. Dude, and sometimes I've done interviews where I'm like, dude, if that's you showing up as your best self, fuck.
Good luck.
that person can be having a bad day. I don't know, but yeah, that person shows up as their best self, you know. And I've done this where, you know, you're like, all right, like we finally get someone, and then you put them in the role, and then you see things like a week in, and or you know, sometimes it's a month in, and you think, oh, like, you know, that's not a good. That's definitely not a good sign. And you turn a blind eye.
Yep. Because in the moment,
'Cause-
there's a couple of reasons. I think in the moment you need them.
Yeah, you're like,
I need them.
I
Oh
can't
man,
fucking
if I
go.
have to go that
Yeah,
through that
now
process,
it's gonna kill
if
a
I have
week.
to get rid of him now,
I'm gonna
I
lose.
need him to do. Yeah,
I'm gonna lose a week. I'm
I'll
gonna
just-
lose
I'll wait,
time
I'll wait.
recruiting.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna,
maybe he'll fix it up, or maybe he'll change his attitude, or she. And you're like, oh, I'll give him another week. Oh, I'll go to the end of this job, and then we'll do it. Oh,
Yeah.
We'll get to this period, and then we'll have the conversation.
which is why I think the most important thing in hiring is to hire before you need them.
Yes, massive. I couldn't agree more with that. Hire before it hurts.
Yeah, like don't put yourself in a strenuous or strainful position, and then you're like, we're fucked. We're you know we're there's backlog. We've got
Yeah.
all this shit. And
because then you're going to throw them into the deep end, and they're
you're
going to be
going to
flustered.
fuck the person.
Yeah.
You're going to hire the wrong person. You're not clear on what you want. You know what I mean?
Yep, the process isn't there. The system isn't. The time isn't there for them to learn the role.
Yeah. You're
So
going
many
to throw
things.
them
Yeah.
under the pump. They
Yeah.
got to go in full sprint into a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah. And if you're really unorganized, because and this is, if you're the one person doing everything, everything's in your head. Where's your process for it? Where's your system for it? Like when you're going to bring them in and you're like, here, go do this. I'm like, oh, how do you want me to do that? Oh, well, I know how to, look, I'll just do that. You do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's a fantastic learning experience for when you first hire. Because then you realize, oh, like this is all in my head.
Yeah.
Like, you
Such a
just fucking
bottleneck.
do the thing. You're like, I've never done this before.
Yeah.
Like,
Such a bottleneck in the business.
yeah, but you learn. You learn that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
And-
definitely hire before it hurts. And, you know, a lot of people look at it and think, I have to spend 100K on this person. It's like 100 grand. Where am I going to get 100 grand for? Well, you don't. You don't have to pay them that in the sense of it's a monthly wage or it's a weekly wage. You don't have to pay them that day one.
What do
Your
you
business-
what do you base that off? Like,
With
what do you, like, I get what you're saying, like in the sense of their salary, but like people are thinking annually.
Yeah,
What do
I'm
you
saying-
calculate for?
Well, I'll look at it from, can the business afford it too? Right. So I'll look at it and go, well, have we got enough money in the bank to pay this person for the next 3 months?
Yeah,
I need
that's
them
what
to
I
do
3
this.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do 3
Like
if I can
pay
if
them
I
for
can do
3
it for 3
months,
months,
yeah, then I can.
I'm like, we can do it.
We can do exactly.
Yeah.
I can pay.
Because
them
we'll
for 3
put
months.
ourselves
'Cause
in a
if you don't-
position in 3 months to
but
cover
not
the
only-
salary.
Not only that, exactly. They should be doing. They should be paying. Like remember, bad employee costs you money. Good employee costs you nothing. Great employee makes you money. So if they are in there and doing their role and competently taking work off your plate, that you can now go out and secure more work, or go out and be able to deliver something quicker, that's a win-win. You will make the money. You allow for their salary within the growth. It might sometimes mean, yeah, this quarter you're going to make a little bit less money. Okay, this quarter you're going to make a little bit less. But next quarter, the idea is let's get back on the horse. Let's go win the more let's go secure more jobs. So like yourself recently, you were talking about hiring a videographer, but full time. Because we had someone in that was working contract, but almost full time. And then they left and it's like, shit, you got to find someone to come in and do it. And you were just contracting out and it's like the quality wasn't there. The people were like, it wasn't as good for you as
Not
you wanted.
reliable, costing them.
Yeah. And then like, I remember you saying like, fuck, should I put them on? I'll put them on 3 days a week, you know, and then just fuck it. We'll just do it. Let's go. And you put them on and within like 2-3 weeks, they were fully booked for the 3 days that they were here. And you're like, hey, I need you on 5 days a week. And now you fully book them for 5 days a week. And now it's like,
We'll have to
hey,
hire an additional
who else do
editor.
you have? Yeah. Okay. Can we get another editor? Like, how can we make this quicker? Because you're so busy filming that you're taking 2 to 3 weeks to deliver the content. And that's not quick enough. Let's go get an editor. So you don't have to do that. So now you can go and film more. And then we'll go, let's go get another videographer. So your business grows as a result of you putting in yourself in that position, and the business gets used to paying for people.
100%.
It gets used to it.
I also think, and maybe this is just me, but I feel like, and this might be a very bad trait, but I feel like I perform better when my back's against the wall.
Yeah, yeah, pressure makes diamonds.
you know what I mean?
I
Like-
tend to agree with that too. And it's like that comfort's a killer, you know, when your
Yeah,
back's not
yeah,
against
it's
the
like,
wall, you're like,
all of
"Ooh,
a sudden
okay."
you've profited for some months, and then you're like, yeah, okay, like I'm just gonna like just
Mm.
you don't consciously say it,
Yeah, yeah.
but like you start to notice like, oh, my foot's come off the pedal.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like I kind of backed off a bit. We're doing well, and you kind of back off a bit, and then you end up falling into a hole or whatever, and whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you get? Yeah, I think it happens super commonly, and it's like sometimes hiring that employee puts you in that position where it does put you in the red for a month.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, let's fucking go.
Mhm.
Like, let's go. You know what I mean? I need to make sure that we're at this point within 90 days to ensure that this is covered. Yeah, it's until we get robots, which is not that far.
Not that far. It's here now, honestly. It's here now. Say what
No,
you
I'm
will,
talking like
it's here.
I'm talking like hire a robot.
Yeah, proper robot machine there to do the task. Yeah, I still think it's to be I think if you're an employee looking for a job, I think there's more onus on you these days to be a good performer because you're going to get shown up real quick, I feel, these days.
With AI.
Yeah. I think you're going to get shown up really, really quick. I've said it before and I'll say it again now. Normally, I would have hired another contract administrator in my business. But because I've been able to utilize AI in certain elements of the business, it's made me hold off employing someone today. Because now I can utilize AI to help the business in certain aspects, to do certain tasks and do certain things. And it's like, well, I don't need someone here to do that. That used to take someone 2-3 hours. I've just done it in the space of 5 to 10 minutes. And not to say I'm not going to, because I'm definitely going to. But once I secure the next lot of projects, I'll be like, okay, cool. This person has to come in. They'll utilize the new process being AI, or the new system that we're using being AI. And now they can deliver not just 3 projects, but 10 projects. And in order for me to still go out now and hire this person, I definitely am going to be looking for a particular caliber of person. I'm going to be looking for someone that is going to bring huge value to the team, to the business. So I think, you have to be now. You have to be, because I would look at it and go, well, why am I going to hire someone that can't do the job as good as, say, the technology that we have in place, or they can't utilize that technology? Well, I'm sorry, you can't work here. I'm going to go find someone else. So when you do get to the point where you can start being a little bit picky and choosy, I think you should. I think you should have a really high standard for the people that work here. And I've even been looking now at doing like an onboarding thing with my employees, new employees that come on board, so they can understand what we're about, understand like whether it's through a video or some sort of training before they actually come on. And, learn about the culture, learn about the business, learn about certain things. And that'll be part of the process for them coming on and being part of the journey at the business.
When I look back at when I did my apprenticeship at Mercedes, they had a phenomenal, like, you know what this is the business journey, this entrepreneurial journey has taught me. I look at everything as a business now, right? Like everything. Like I go on a flight and I'm assessing how the customer service happens.
Yeah.
You know what's a phenomenal business, real side, Tony? Costco.
Yeah, right. Do you know I've never been?
What?
I've never stepped foot into a Costco.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. Never stepped foot into a Costco.
Dude, what are you doing?
I don't know. Do you want to take me this weekend?
Let's go, dude.
Right.
We'll go after this.
That's it. Didn't it close down? Wasn't it in Docklands?
Yeah.
Has that closed down?
That one's closed down.
Is there another one?
There's like 7.
Is there?
Yes. Well, it might be 5.
Is that what you just go bulk buy?
Dude, it's
stupid shit.
Just go check it out. I think you'll appreciate the business model.
Yeah, cool.
They do.
Do you have to be a member?
Yeah.
Can I be friends and family? Like, could you take me?
Yeah, you can come in with me.
Yeah. But I can't go in by myself.
You can't go in by
stop me at
yourself.
the door. Hey,
Yeah.
no,
You got to
do
scan your
membership.
membership in here. Yeah.
Does it cost to be a member?
Costco.
Yeah, Costco.
Of course it costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, $60 a year. It's fuck all.
It's too much.
Like, hey,
Too
you
much.
get that's like, you want to talk about a phenomenal business? You can tell looking back now, you can tell how long a business has been running for and how much things they have in place to handle every single thing that goes wrong. You know what I mean? And I think Costco is they are a business that ridiculously understands their client, everything. Everything they've got's big for a start. They've got everything. Like when I say they've got everything, I'm talking like there's not many places where you can buy lettuce in one aisle and then walk to the next aisle and buy a car jack. I'm serious.
Yeah.
And then go to the next aisle and buy a TV.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck's happening here? Wild. But they do these little things that I find really cool. Like they sell a hot dog and a drink for $1.99, which I think is like, there's no way you're making money on this. Like there is absolutely no fucking way, unless that hot dog is not meat. There is no way you're making money on $1.99 for a hot dog and a soda.
Yeah.
Right? They sell a slice of pizza for $3. Hey, everyone, you go there and the cafe is packed every single time. Good pizza.
Oh, coming from a pizza connoisseur.
7.2.
You haven't?
Yes.
You haven't done a pizza review in quite some time, Robbie. I've heard a lot of people been asking me. They say to me that, hey, I hear you're close with Robbie. When's he bringing back the pizza reviews?
Yeah, they're not coming back. But the business is phenomenal. And going back to the Mercedes example I was giving, they had a phenomenal recruitment process, you know. And I think as businesses age, they tend to have way more things in line that are working really well for what they do. So I'll explain the Mercedes one. This is obviously a really big business, but they had a thing where they hired 6 new apprentices every year at the same time. And they had a dedicated person called an apprentice master. And that person would train the first year apprentices for the first year. So your first year apprentice, there's 6 of you. It's like, cool. You're gonna spend time with me. We're gonna work on these 2 hoists, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do everything. Do you know what I mean? So that by the time you're on a set, you become second year, you can then go out onto the workshop floor on your own.
Yeah, I don't need to hold your hand.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna hold your hand for the first year. You're gonna do some cleaning. You're gonna do some fuck shit. You're gonna do, and it really was, dude. You had to go fucking clean the mops every day, dude. Go take the mops, take them downstairs, wash them down, clean the buckets. Every day for a whole year. But the recruitment process was phenomenal because they constantly fed, and they would hire fully qualified people too.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like ad hoc, you know, but they had this system that was constantly feeding. Like they knew, okay, their workshop is the machine. They had this system that was constantly, for every year, 6 new people would come into the system. And in 4 years' time, those 6 people were qualified technicians. And honestly, I don't think there was a single year where all 6 made it all the way.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I was just about to say.
No. Yeah, people drop off.
Yeah.
People drop out. Sometimes they fire people. They're like, someone will come in. They're like, it's just not a fit. Like, can't, like, you know what I mean? Doesn't know the first thing about cars. Can't drain oil.
Yeah.
He's a drainer. Didn't say that. But I thought that was really.
You made it through? You did your whole apprenticeship there?
Me? Yeah. Finished my apprenticeship.
Do you find, I'm curious, like, you know how you go and work for a volume builder, for example, or you go and work for a big commercial builder, there's the stigma that you won't get the same experience of working with a backyard mechanic. Do you think you still learnt everything you needed to learn at a big organization like that as a mechanic? Well, as an apprentice mechanic?
Yeah, so there's a couple things. So I think,
because they'll teach you to master Mercs.
Yes, but there was also the thing in the automotive world was, if you can do it on a Mercedes, you can do it on anything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's the most complex. Like it's sorry, I shouldn't say the most complex, but it's a very complex vehicle compared to a Toyota.
You know what? I'm going to need to pick your brain later about that, about something with a Mercedes.
Yeah, okay. So it's a much more complex vehicle. So it's like, if you can come in and do this on a Mercedes, you can do it on anything. I also myself, I used to always do backyarders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I used to
We used to work on your own cars as well.
I used to love it. Everything.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll share a funny story. I was a second year apprentice. My uncle calls me and he goes, "Hey, my mate needs his clutch changed." There's not many manual Mercedes in Australia.
Yeah.
I'd never done a clutch. I didn't even know at this point in my career, I didn't even know how a clutch works. Like I knew how to drive manual, but I didn't understand the mechanics behind it. I don't know. Do you know how a clutch works?
Not
Yeah. Most people
specifically,
don't, dude. It's quite complex.
Yeah.
And he's like, can you do it? He's like, he just needs a clutch change. He just needs a clutch change. It's like, yeah, cool, bring it. Dude, this guy brings a fucking massive Hilux and I'm going to do a clutch on the floor.
Not even in a hoist.
It was, first of all, it cost me money. Like I lost money on the job. Secondly, it was there for like 3 weeks. It should have been there for like a
2
weekend.
days, yeah.
Thirdly, I had 6 people. This is no word of a lie, dude. I swear to God, if any of my mates at the time are listening to this, they will know the exact roar that happened when we got the transmission back. Because, dude, did you know how big a 4-wheel drive transmission is? I could not get it back in. I couldn't. And I had
too
to
heavy.
call all the boys over, and there was 2 jacks under the car, and we're all sitting there shaking, and it's like, and then when it slid in, dude, and it sat flush, it was like, yeah, and we all got up and fucking. It might be the greatest celebration of my whole life, dude, to date. It was the most phenomenal thing. But those experiences that taught me so much, dude. That taught me so much because I was willing to. It cost me money. At the time, I was going to call the guy and be like, listen, bro, I'm not going to be a mechanic anymore. I don't know. Come take your car. I don't know. Like it was just everything was going wrong. But I was willing to take on those experiences. And I think a combination of working on the highest quality of vehicle and hey, I will back Mercedes. I don't know where they're at now. I think they're kind of, but at the time, the cars are phenomenal. And being willing to, risk it and learn off my own bat, a combination of those 2 things, I think gave me the skill set to, I can almost fix anything. Like someone can bring me a vacuum and it's not working. I'm like,
let's see. Logically, let's pull it apart and see.
Yeah, so it's like, well, let's work out how it works. Okay, and then we can see where it's failing. Like, I won't. If you bring me a vacuum, I will not fix it. But yeah, so going back to your question, I can see how working for like a Metricon or something might limit your ability to do custom elements because they might work within a certain thing. But I'll tell you what Mercedes taught me that I wouldn't have learned at a small place. Systems and processes. Because like they had a system and process for everything.
I had to.
And it was like, hey, this is how you do this is how you do that. Here, when this happens, you fill this in. When you want to put annual leave in, you fill that in.
But I'd also dare say, even with the delivery of, like, I imagine that would service a lot of cars a day.
Yeah, I think we're
work
doing
on
like
that.
60, 70 cars a
That's
day.
huge. So how can you not have a system in place to be able to deliver
it's like,
that?
Yeah, it's like the volume of cars coming in and out every single day. And then the beauty was I got to see the front end. That was the good side. So I didn't just see, because you learn as an employee, you learn here to here. And it's like, this is my role. You don't think about when the car gets washed. You don't think about what the customer says when they drop it off. You don't think, you're just like, this is my role. But then I got to see the full service end to end. And that was really good because I did the middle part and then I did the outer parts when I became a service advisor. And I got to really understand, so if I don't do this part, they can't do their part. And it taught me the skill of like connecting the dots and understanding the full journey, which I think most people fail at. And they're like, but I fucking did my bit. And he's like, yeah, but that's not going to think about, and I say this to my team so much. I'm like, think about the whole fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like think about the consumer, what they want. Think about end to end.
Yeah.
Don't just think about, I ticked my box. It's like, think about every single part of the process. And it taught me that. So, but really cool to see like a really cool recruitment system. It's like, it would have taken them a long time to get that to the point where it was.
Yeah. And you kind of touched on it a little bit before. I think it was again before we started this podcast, but it's like, who could you bring in to help you accelerate that? Why do you always have to learn that recruitment process? Why not actually go
hire
out?
Recruiters?
Yeah, well, you could hire a recruiter, yes. Or you could hire a consultant to show you or bring in a process that you could hire really good quality people.
Yeah.
And it's the same in any element of your business, any system in your business. you can bring someone in to help you accelerate that. Now, whether that's a consultant, like a contractor, or whether it's a direct employee, you can bring
or a
those
mentor.
people. Yeah, or a mentor. Absolutely. You can bring those people in to help you and give you that guidance and give you that. Otherwise, you've got to learn through experience. And you go, okay, well, let me hire this person. Hire them. Oh, they weren't good. Okay, well, now I know what I don't want. Now let me go hire this person. Oh, okay, now I know what I don't want there as well. All right, let me go again. And that might take you a year. Whereas if you could go pay someone $10,000 and they come in and say, listen, use this process to hire your next hire and do it like this and go like that and use
look
this
for
form
these
and do these.
things.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
are things. These are the questions you ask.
This is how you onboard them.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you've got the perfect employee that comes in, that executes, that helps you deliver. And it's taken you 2 months, not 12.
And another thing with that as well is I think people will have more confidence in hiring your first employee is a wild first step. Because you kind of like, fuck, like a whole wage. Like I've got to pay, like I've got to, you know what I mean? When it's you don't care as much.
Yeah.
But when it's like now I've got someone that's dependent, it's like a level of pressure that you might not be comfortable with initially. So I think having someone that you can kind of fall back on and, bounce ideas off, ask questions to, be like, hey man, this happened, what the fuck do I do? Or like, dude, there's so much stuff you don't know about work cover. You got to get work cover. You know what I mean? You got to pay super. You got to like having someone and help you navigate all that as well is super helpful.
Yeah.
Because there's none of that shit's in a book.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Which is stupid. It should be.
It should be taught. Yes.
It should be.
100%. A lot of this stuff should be taught. A lot of people go into business without thinking about any of these things. They're just like, oh, yeah, I can hire someone. It should be easy. They'll think a lot of the processes are easy, but they don't until they actually get into it and like, oh shit, I actually don't know how to do this.
Yeah, I don't know the hiring process. I don't know the laws around it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what my requirements are. How do I make sure I don't get taken to Fair Work? You know what I mean? Like that whole,
Yeah, I'm so surprised at how many people that I've spoken to in the construction space that don't have employee contracts in place.
What?
Dude, so many.
No contracts?
No employee contracts in place.
What are they? Where's the agreement? Well, yeah, I'm gonna pay $100,000. Yeah, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, hopefully the money comes in. That's wild.
It's wild from both perspectives. Not just like from the employee, but also the employer.
Yeah. And especially like in this day and age.
Yeah.
Like you could whip something up. So even if it's like a general.
Yeah, just something real quick.
You know what's amazing? How many loopholes in contracts there can be.
Yeah. You can. Yes. Everything's arguable. Even something that's in the contract, you can argue it.
Yeah, it's all.
Like if you said, oh, well, it says that you must do this Monday to Friday. It's like, oh, well, that's not very clear.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And what's my interpretation of that was different.
Yeah.
And then you go to court over it and like, oh, yeah, well, I could see how that could be taken. And you're like, are you serious? It's literally in black and white.
Stupid, yeah.
Yeah, you can argue anything.
So
that's what I've learned over the years.
I'll share this story to wrap up, and this is about contracts. So I recently wanted to scrap my gym membership. Okay, so I took the contract. My gym membership was coming up to the end of the month, so I just took the contract, uploaded it to Claude, and said, "Hey, Claude, I'm looking at killing off this thing. I don't, because in the contract it says if you don't let us know, it just renews for another. You're up for another 12 months.
Right.
I don't want to be up for another 12 months. Like, so let me tell them now." So I uploaded to Claude. Claude says, "Cool. There's actually a relocation fee. You've just moved houses, and you should be able to get out of this for $300 some shit." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I send him an email. "Hey, I've moved houses. Blah blah blah. Please let me know what you need. Need to end the contract." And then they said, "Cool. Because you're taking up the relocation clause in the contract, you need to pay out 4 weeks of the thing, which ends up being more than the cancellation fee." And I'm like, excuse me, here's the contract. It says that there's a clause in there that says if we move, we pay this figure. And then they come back to me and they said, "Oh, our terms and conditions were updated, but upon checking our system, we found that the email didn't send to you for some reason, so we will honor the $300 thing." And then I'm like, hold on. So I signed this agreement and you guys can fucking flip the terms and conditions on me. So I took the email, I put it into Claude, and I said, hey, can they actually change the terms and conditions on me? Like without me signing the new agreement? And there's a clause in there.
There's a clause
that
in
says,
there that
yes, they can.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fucking wild. So you guys can just turn around. Because, hey, we've all received fucking emails that say, here's an updated terms and conditions, or here's an update to our privacy policy. No one fucking reads them.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah. I
And it's
delete
like-
them. I delete them immediately and I get angry.
That's
that
what
I
I'm saying.
receive it.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, you never read that. You don't know what the updates are because you're not going to go through the whole fucking policy to learn what no one cares.
No, not anymore. Especially, they normally come from bigger companies, like say,
Google.
Netflix, or whatever. They'll say updated T's and C's.
Yeah. And then you're just like, all right, whatever. Like,
It's just delete. It's literally a delete. And it's like in there it says, oh no, we can up our rates at any time and you're locked in for the next 12 months.
and it's like if you don't combat it at that point, then you've missed your chance.
Yeah.
And I found that to be wild because I'm like, hold on. So if your system didn't fuck up and you guys didn't send me an email, I would have been out money here because you guys chose to email me a long list of fucking words that I wasn't willing to spend time reading.
But
that is wild.
The beauty of AI now, like that's put it on the other foot because now you don't have to read that. Say, hey,
but
literally just gone, here's the T's and C's, sort this out for me.
Just to be clear, even that, the next email you get that says we've updated our privacy policy, you're not putting it into Claude.
Never.
You're not. You're just going to be like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like I've got 47 emails here I've got to attend to. I'm not going to say, hey, Claude, break this down. Tell me what's been updated.
Yeah.
I don't care. But yeah, I was quite shocked to find out that they can flip the script on you and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Isn't that wild?
It is. Oh,
I'm just going to send
just business
everyone,
isn't it?
I'm just going to send an email now and just say our terms and conditions have been updated.
Yeah.
And just, I found that to be fucking wild. I was like, you guys can, what's the point of signing a contract? If you can change the rules, what's the point?
I know. There is one more thing that we didn't mention in this convo, and I just want to bring it up as well. Contractors.
Yeah.
All right. So you often employ contractors. I employ a fuckload of contractors. How do you treat them? How do you treat them? Because they're not part of your team. They're not your employees. How do you treat your contractors?
Me, I treat team gets. Like they don't get the 90-day catch-ups and stuff.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I treat them like team because at the end of the day, the product they deliver is a direct reflection on our brand.
100%. I would say you're only as good as the people that work for you.
Yeah.
That's it. You could go out there and say, we're a high-end architectural luxury home builder. I didn't build shit. I didn't build anything. I did not pick up a hammer. Did not pick up a drill. It was all done by other people. So you're going to need to make sure that the people you're employing, your contractors, are on board with what you're about and what you're doing as well. And there's a level of, yes, they are your extended team. And I like to use the same people across projects as well. So as in, take that whole group. If they've done a good job,
like
and
it's
like, hey, why are we going to go out and mix this up? Let's go grab that group, bring them here, build this job. Grab that group, bring them here, build that job. And you develop the relationships, you develop the conversations, you develop everything. Mutual respect. It's
you work with each other.
Powerful.
You know how what the expectations are.
Like you walk on site and see the boss. So the company that you've employed, you end up knowing their employees too, and they know you and vice versa. And it's very powerful stuff.
Do you think? I kind of know your answer here, but I'm going to ask it anyway. But like, how do you think most people treat their contractors?
Yeah, look, I'd like to think most people with their subbies, not just in building, but just there's still a level of respect there. I think you're employing them because they can do a job.
Yeah, but
ideally,
but I feel like people don't treat them. There's a level of respect.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, but so you can respect someone and not like them.
Yeah, you could.
Generally, you can. Do you think fear is a prerequisite for respect?
No.
Like some level of fear, like either a fear of losing that person or a fear of that person, or you know what I mean? Like has got to be some level of fear associated. Because if you don't give a fuck about the other person and don't care for them and have zero interest in them, it's like, do you respect them? And you're like, yeah. I'm just curious.
Yeah. No, it begs the question.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like the thing tends to be like me versus you.
Yes, and I think that's a huge mistake.
Yeah, because also we are contractors. Our company, what we do, we're contractors.
That's right.
People engage us to come in and come in and create my content, come in and run my SEO, come in and build my website. We're a contractor. We come in, we do a job and we leave.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And I find sometimes, not most people are pretty good, but sometimes we get the, it's me versus you kind of mentality. Like I'll give you fucking the stupidest example. I had a client, not a client anymore, who would not tell us about the leads. They would like hide it. And I'd be like, hey, like, what happened to the lead on Tuesday? He's like, oh, yeah, they were good. I'm like, why didn't you tell me about them? And he'd be like, and we track everything, yeah? But like they would purposefully, they'd be like, hey, no leads. I'd be like, what about Tuesday? They'd be like, oh, yeah, they're all right. I'm like, why didn't you bring them up? They'd be like, oh, because, I don't want you to stop what you're doing. And I'm like, so you think I'm going to be like, hey, you've got enough leads, bro.
Yeah,
like, let me turn the tap off and go hand some leads over to someone else. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what sort
Scarcity
of
mentality? And it's also, it's not a collaborative approach. Every relationship I've ever had that's been successful in my life has been collaborative. Every single one.
It's got to be, dude.
But people don't think that. They think I have to be combative. It's me versus you.
And it's like, it's not, man.
It's not. It is
me
the complete
and you.
opposite. It is the complete opposite. The most money I've ever made in my life, the most success I've ever had in my life, it's when we've got a collaborative approach to whatever we're going out to do. That's from subby to builder, from client to builder, from employee to employer. Every single time, it's when it's a collaborative approach. The second you think I'm out to get you, you're out to get me, man, it's going downhill very quickly, very, very quickly. When the trust is gone, when the respect is gone, I think that's when it's time to tap out of that relationship. And you do come across that. I've tapped out of plenty of relationships and will probably still continue to in the future. There's plenty of people that we've engaged as contractors, as employees, as clients that were like, look, journey was the journey. All the best for the future.
That's, I think you always have to have that filter on. Like you always got to be willing to, it's like you got to be willing to fire the employee who doesn't fit. You got to be willing to tap out of the relationships with contractors that are just not serving you. But if you are a contractor, you want to make sure that you have that approach. And if you hire contractors, you want to make sure that you have that same approach, like have a collaborative mindset around it. And put everything in writing, like everything. Like, dude, just for context, like I'll show you how much I mean this. We know each other quite well. If you engage us to do something, it's in writing. It's in writing, not because I'm like, it's just in writing, dude. This is our process. Follow the process. Yeah. You wanted a shoot done the other day.
You yelled at me.
You came down and said, hey, can we get someone here on this site? And I said, dude, fill out the fucking form. Yeah. That's our process.
He actually said it like that. He yelled at me, but he said it much, man.
Fill out the form. That's our process. Everyone goes through the same thing because then everything's documented. It's all there. All the team are across it. It's not that George told me and I haven't relayed the information or he didn't relay the information. It's like, just follow the process, man. We built this in so that everyone in our team can work in the same way. Just do the fucking thing. Yeah. And it's like, you should be doing that with all your contractors and everyone that you do any form of business with. Rule number one.
Numero uno. Good stuff. Good stuff. So if you don't have a team, go get a team. If you have a team, start sitting down and having chats with them.
Yeah. It's worth the time.
Worth the investment. You're investing in them already, and there's this great saying that I love, and it's two directors speaking to each other. One of them goes, what if we invest all this time and money into our employees and they leave us? The other director turns around and says, what if we don't and they stay?
It's true.
So true.
It's true.
The first time I heard that, I was like, that was a bit of a lightning bulb, whatever it is. Lightning lightning struck somewhere.
Something happened with lightning.
And I loved it, and it made complete sense to me.
Yeah, and I think, if you are in a position where you need to be hiring someone, this is your sign. Do you know what I mean? Like, just fucking take the leap.
Do it. You'll never look back. Once you get some good employees in your business, you will never look back.
Yeah, dude, you will get hands down. You will never, ever. I shouldn't say never, but you will almost never go without it. It just there becomes things that you're like, hey, I can't be doing that thing anymore.
I could almost think of nothing worse than me having to go on site and supervise.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? I could think of
don't need to
nothing
be
worse
doing
than to
that
do that.
anymore.
Yeah, I would be on site supervising, doing whatever I'm doing, going, I'm not in the right space. I should not be here.
And when you start to see things progressing without you, it's a funny but great feeling.
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, like that's good. Like, because now it's like we've built, the system is working. It's called an organization because it is a bunch of things organized together to work in a particular way. Do you know what I mean? It's like that is doing what it needs to do. And that's what you want. You want a business that you can walk away from for a day, a week, a month, and it continues to grow. And that takes time to build as well. Like you need to build different elements. You need to have marketing sorted. You need to have operations sorted, sales sorted. And yeah, but that's the goal. That's the goal. Make yourself redundant.
Yeah, that's it.
Make yourself redundant and then go get a job.
Love it. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Much appreciated. Good chat, Mr. RC. Hope to see you here next week. If you haven't subscribed, you should definitely subscribe and tell everyone you know.
Just before we go, do you want to go to Costco?
Oh,
do you want
I'm pumped now. I want to get a $1.50.
$1.99 hot dog?
Is that real?
Yeah.
$1.99.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
It's
real.
like what? So you can go if you've got a family of 4, you can feed your family for $8. What? It's like you can't be making money on this.
I might get two.
But let me tell you, yeah, dude, phenomenal business. Like the business model, no one is sad in there. Even the employees, like they're all happy. Everyone's happy. Everyone's eating. The employees don't talk to you. They talk to themselves while they're working, and you're like, but you're not upset about it. You're like, huh? Like you did not stop working the whole time. Great business.
So good.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thanks, guys.